Hey guys, Eric and Roth here. We're going to talk about The Walking Dead Season 5 mid-season premiere. What happened and what's going on, I believe is the title.
Which is weird to me only because it is such a heavy episode and that sounds like, hey, what happened? What's going on? It sounds very casual.
When's The Walking Dead ever just casual, though? Suffice to say, full spoilers ahead. So if you haven't seen the episode, we're about to ruin it for you. All right, you still with us? Let's go. Really happy, light episode.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I felt like... afterwards I felt like life affirmed.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to say this, and I'm really curious to see how the Walking Dead fans respond to this episode. I thought it was great. I thought it was one of their best ones.
No, I did too. I thought it was an excellent episode. It's interesting at this point because now the fact that major characters can be killed off left and right, we're accustomed to. So the approach for this one was really interesting because it really was, in a way, I don't think they've ever done like a big farewell, like, you know, he got bit, a third of the episode in. Yeah. And so really the rest of the episode is like his internal struggle and goodbye.
Well, not only that, what I really liked about this, there were two things that I really loved about this episode. One, it was in the midst of everybody else having this conversation about how life doesn't really even matter anymore in this world. It completely highlighted how one individual life absolutely does. Because it put the focus on Tyrese's internal life so much that it reminds you of your own internal life. Your life is valuable to you. You know what I mean? We're each the center of our own universes, right? Like, so to me, it highlighted so much, like, this life does matter. It's fading now. It's going away, but it did matter. And it was there, you know. As everyone else is going, who cares? What does it matter? Let's just kill each other. To some degree, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that was awesome. And then the second piece of it was that I loved the use of the parallel between listening to the radio and what's going on in the world or turning it off and ignoring it. And ultimately, he just couldn't handle this light. Tyrese, and this was the other cool thing. I'm babbling. I'm so sorry. I'm going to let you talk. But Tyrese has never really been able to handle this world.
Yeah.
He's never been able to deal with it. And so it was like, really in line with his character for him to ultimately say, just turn it off. I can't.
It was interesting, though, because he had a lot of back and forth. He had a moment that was kind of his, like, I'm going to live moment, you know, where he was, like, confronting the governor. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But that was interesting because it kind of changed. It shifted because he was in a bad place like everyone was. And then he kind of was like, no, I'm going to fight. Even though I've been bit, I'm going to fight. And then at the end, it was like, you know, it was funny because, yeah, he's in the car and, you know, Lizzie and Mika are like, hey, this is better. And he just kind of like, you know, drifts off, you know. But it was very emotional. I thought it was very well done, again, on a show that has already gotten a lot of mileage out of big deaths. I thought this was, you know, one of their better episodes and certainly one of the more impactful goodbyes we've seen so far on the show.
And I think for me, it was those two reasons. The first one is that I just felt like I could really relate to that sense of overwhelm when you are hearing about these things that are going, and the desire to turn the radio or turn off the TV and ignore it because you feel like there's nothing you can do to change it. I really related to that, so that was confronting. And then just the idea that we were really in his internal life, you know, and this, like, you know, there was that cheesy movie of If I Stay, which I didn't even see, but I assume is terrible, which is terrible of me. Maybe it's great. But it was like that idea done well. Like he was deciding to live or die.
If I Stay is like one of my favorite movies. So I've never seen it. I mentioned the governor. I thought it was really good use of those dead characters. You know, it worked really well, and you had to kind of be like, yeah, you know, because and the trippiness of it, the whole way they established those opening moments, what we were going to see, the fake out with the fact that we assume it's Beth's burial, but it's really Tyrese's. And yeah, the way that those people who appeared to him were important to him. It's like, it's easy to forget that we met him when he was with the governor, you know? So because they didn't have a lot of screen time together, but it's like, no, that would be important to him. The girls, of course, because he was there for all of that. Beth was so recent. And then I think Martin was his name, the guy that he had that big, you know, Garrus guy.
Yeah, the one that he did not kill.
Right.
Sort of the one that was like, you're definitely going to be the one to die.
Which you know, I remember we talked when that happened. I still felt it was weird that no one in the show, like, I thought it was going to come up in a different way that he let Martin go, right? I thought it would be like, you know, in the show, characters would call him out. no one called him out, but it was kind of cool that he called himself out for
exactly,
it. You know?
Exactly, because he must have had those
Sure.
thoughts of like, if I had just done it, if I had just killed him. But he doesn't want to be that guy, and that's why he just ultimately let himself die. I mean, there's a part of me that feels like he had to feel that kid. I could hear him; he was loud.
Right.
You know, the walker behind him, he must have known, and he let himself die. I feel like it was. Can I say a quick spoiler from the comic? Not really. There's a character in the comic that lets themselves get bit, ultimately, in a much more overt way. I feel like this was a slight homage to that.
Right.
He sort of let himself get bit because I think that what was behind that other door that he didn't open sounded to me like a zombie toddler. You know, I don't know if it was that or if you guys noticed the other door that he didn't open.
Right.
Sounded to me like a baby.
I didn't go with a baby. I mean, I thought obviously it's another member of the family. But
Yeah.
You go to the baby.
I went right to baby.
Lastly, let me mention though, I am very curious where we go with Sasha after this.
Yeah.
Because in the show, she's lost her boyfriend and her brother in a matter of days.
Yes.
It was months for us.
Yeah.
But she has just lost everyone she loves, you know. And so I really, you know, her character's been there, kind of the periphery. Hopefully this will really give her a chance to kind of take the spotlight and see how she gets through or doesn't get through all that she's lost at this point.
I think she's going to lose it.
Yeah.
You know, I really do. I think that she's either going to go in the direction of sort of Carol and become very hardened, or she's just going to flip out, you know? I mean, what would you do?
Right. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be doing well. Let us know what you would do. What do you think? You know, we both thought it was a great episode, one of the best of the series. Did you agree? Are you sad to see Tyrese go? We are. The hammer, he's gone. Let us know in the comments. We'll have plenty more on Walking Dead here at IGN.